What's going on, everybody? It's Crypto Vision here, back again with another Monday live stream. I hope that you get anything that you want out of this. Drop your tickers, the good, the bad, the ugly. That's what this is going to be about. You know, we're looking to hopefully look to build a strong week. Monday has been notorious for red Mondays. A little bit of red, the rest of the week red, a little bit of green, rest of the week red. So let's go ahead. We're going to dive into some assets that I hold, assets that I'm looking to get into. If you're interested, like I said, drop your ticker. We'll get to it as soon as possible. We already got one. I'll get to Swift for sure. We're going to be checking out XLM first. I hope you had a great weekend. Hope you enjoyed the Super Bowl if you watched it. The game was pretty bad, but overall, if you put money on the Seahawks, that was easy money for you. But without further ado, let's get into it. We are going to be checking out XLM. So first things first, XLM, we had a bunch of signals fire for the weekly chart. Nothing has printed and stayed. So things are flashing right now. On the Discord for our Patreon members, we had a bunch of assets flash green on the weekly charts. So either, they immediately flashed for they immediately flashed on, that right on that close, or they flashed right on the open. So either way, these things, they flash, they come back. So I know the signal isn't here. But the fact that things are flashing means that we're trying to bottom. We've come back down. We've back tested this channel. We wicked down to 13 cents. Wicked all the way down to 13 cents. Closing still above this, right above this termination point at 15.8. So my thesis of XLM, a lot of the blue chip stocks are in this fourth wave. Okay, so I know you can see it on the chart. So you got this 1, 2, you got this 3. Okay, and then you got this fourth wave move down. Okay, fourth wave move down. You could if you want to use the terminology bear market, go ahead. What's up, Goonie? ZANO, yeah, ZANO's looking good today. I'll get to all those for sure. A lot of the blue chip stocks look like they're in this fourth wave move bear market. I don't want to call it a bear market, because if you invalidate, let's say you come down through, you invalidate this, your bear markets are going to take time at the bottom, right? A prolonged period of time. So, for example, we come down through here, we invalidate, we close down at like 10 cents or whatever. We're going to need to go sideways for a couple months. Go sideways, come down through here, be boring for a really long time. Then you have to have a whole restart. That's what a bear market means. A bear market doesn't mean a long-term correction. Fourth wave move. That doesn't mean a bear market. This is still a bull market, because we're still expecting that fifth wave up, the continuation, that fifth wave up. And I think XLM, I think things like AVAX, I've been high on AVAX, Flare, CHAINLINK, obviously, Jasmy and DEGEN a little bit in a different scenario. They do look like they might be looking for a B wave up, partial retracements, just depending on the termination points. Pardon me, still drinking through my coffee. So, but overall, XLM, until we get above this February open, so 16 cents, 16.3 cents, that's what we're looking for, just to start. Before I can think of, a reversal coming up, we do need to close above 22.5. We've had 22.5 for a while. 22.5, it's going to be a big level. Come up through here. Maybe come down through at ABC. Find support at the February open. And then I know you see a cluster of resistance. I don't really think that's going to be a big deal. I think our 1-2 is going to be, at the most, it can come up to the 29 to the 30 cent level. But I think, if we use this as the 1-2, then the next time we come up through here, it's going to be butter. It's going to be butter. I could check the daily real quick. The daily does look like it's, it wants to it's not oscillating. This is a doji candle. We got another doji candle. I kind of want Monday to be, neutral. Tuesdays have been the big day where, you have Tuesday drop. Tuesday opens up, and it's just straight red. So you're looking for the possibility of, right, you got this little partial A wave, B wave, and a C wave, 3-wave move. If we are looking at something, where are we at through here? you're staying right above your 382, below your 236. So not much going on in terms of a correction. Maybe you come down to 14.9. Maybe you come down through here. Maybe you come down through there, then you go. In terms of more downside, I mean, until we get 5 waves up, so we need, this 1, 2, like an A, B, C, 3, come back down 4, maybe you come up 5. Until you get 5 waves up and a completed second wave. A lot of the second waves we've had lately, I mean, every single asset has taken out your lows. I mean, every single thing has taken out your lows. I mean, we had this right here, took out our lows. That's kind of the only one. I guess this up through here, this kind of looked good a little bit. That kind of looked good, but also got taken out right through here, slammed down. So plenty of opportunities that have just been, all the bullish momentum that has been used, at least for, I own XLM, I'm in XLM. So when I'm tracking XLM, it's not the, I'm not too worried about the reversal. It's more so getting a foundation, building a base, then the higher targets will come. Right now, I could look at, I've priced targets up at 52 cents, 64 cents, up to $1. We could be talking about that, and I think that's good. I think that's it's a good idea to think about the prospects of a return on investment. But for the most part, bottoming out, trying to find out whether or not, okay, did we find our low yet? In order to find our low, we need 5 waves up. Okay, Fu Manchu, you still have you've been the most oversold ever been the most oversold ever. Through your bear market, you're more oversold now. And so that's what I got for XLM. XLM, we're looking to really get above that 22.5 level. Get above 22.5. First step, get above this February open. So, with the fact that Bitcoin has been trying to recover that 70,000, 71,000, you're hoping for the possibilities that Bitcoin could kind of stop fluttering and, figure out a way to it doesn't have to, we don't need new all-time highs on Bitcoin. I'll jump to Bitcoin a little bit later, but we just need Bitcoin not to take a dump and everything can kind of find its way and find its footing. So overall, that's what I got for XLM. I can check out, I'm going to check out Swift. Luna, what's up? ICP, yep, I'll check out ICP. So in terms of, I'll check out Swift. I'll bounce over to Swift. Let's check this out. A little bit of green flare. Been big on flare. Where's flare at? Where are you at, flare? Yeah, flare's kind of doing Buttcoin. I posted it in the Discord, talking about it in the Discord. We'll talk about Buttcoin too and what these levels offer, what they actually mean. Let's go look at Swift. So Swift January open. Well, we need that February open. Where's that February open? It is bouncing right off the January open, so we can leave this. We can leave this red, just like that, and boom. Where is the January? Where's the February open at? Right in between. Nice. So right below. We're gonna check this out. We're going to get in through here. There we go. Okay, monthly open. We'll go back to the weekly chart. We got some more levels on here. So we've had Swift on the charts for a while. Had a subscriber request for Swift. In terms of what Swift has done and what it is doing, it's also one of those coins where you're looking for that continuation. You're looking for that continuation. You've come down in a clear ABC. So you got this A wave, you got this B wave, and now you're coming like in a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Possibly you get down a little bit more. We can open this up a little bit on the weekly chart. We had a level down here at 2564. That would be the termination point. That's wave 2 down through there. So, if you're looking for possible entries, right? If I'm looking at Swift, I'm saying, hey, look, Swift it clearly has this A wave down. You have a B wave retrace. All right, let's see where we're at for this C wave retrace. C wave retrace, we've hit that 1272, tried to bounce on this almost perfectly. This 1414, I mean, that's pretty low. That's what, at 0.002321, that's pretty low. So the way that I would operate through here, you know, this 1-2, that's a pretty big 1-2, if I'm being honest. That 3 bounced off the, came down to the 1886. I mean, yeah, I mean, I do like that this does have this 1-2 through here. This 1-2, 3, 4. This, I mean, as a fifth wave, that doesn't really look complete as a fifth. Right? That really doesn't look complete as a fifth, not quite yet. We're going to put some more levels on here. We're going to dive in. You know, just a brief look. Giga Chad, what's up, Carlos? I'll check out Giga Chad. I never got to Giga Chad. I remember you posting that a long time ago. You know, it's been on the back of my mind, but I just haven't. I will check out Giga Chad. I've never looked at it, but, you know, I'll take a look at it for sure. I got you. Is it a meme coin? Is Giga Chad a meme? It sounds like a meme. So, Swift here, $38 million asset. Pretty low asset, so it could definitely hit down through here. Take out this low one more time. Come down through here. Take out through there. In terms of the overall setup for Swift, so if we're thinking that Swift, you know, this does look like a third wave through here. So I mean, if you do have like a 1, even if this is a 1-2, anything has actually been, everything's kind of been invalidated, unless you have like this 1-2, ABC3, you have a fourth, now you have a truncated fifth. That's not it. That's not going to work. I mean, realistically, I mean, 1-2, ABC3, you could have a fourth and a fifth, so you could have like a 1-2. 1-2, 1-2. That could definitely be a possibility, but again, that would be invalidated. So yeah, Swift has kind of invalidated the structure. Like unlike XLM, Swift has taken out a lot of these lows, right? Swift has taken out a lot of lows, unless there's the possibility where your 1-2 is down through here. So you have a 1-2 through here. So your 1-2, right? 1-2. You have a ABC third. This is your fourth, right? That's your possibilities. I don't see the prospect of a retracement. So let's say we even do get a retracement. This is the 786, but let's say we just get a retracement on Swift, right? Let's get a retracement, even a retracement on Swift, right? That 382. So you're coming up to that 3 cents. So even if a retracement, right? Let's say this is a wave, a complex. This is a complex correction. This is something like DEGEN is looking into. The smaller cap coins that have really been sold off, PNG, things like that, where you got this A wave. Okay, that's A. Now you're going to need a B. You're going to need 3 waves up. Okay, 3 waves up. I mean, you can terminate here. You can terminate at the 0.5. But in my estimation, and when I am investing in assets, right? These are my levels. These are my ideas. All right, this isn't financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but when I'm at lows, when I'm at relative lows, after an asset has been sold off, when sentiment is bad on the asset, when sentiment sucks, such as silver over the past couple of years, now everyone loves silver and gold, right? You're investing in an asset that has bad sentiment, still has use case, still has value. Swift has value in what it offers paired with XLM, XRP, on-chain data. But even on a retrace, down here is not where I'd be afraid. Up here, where I'm at this 0.5 retracement, right? 500% return on investment, 600% return on investment. These are the areas where you could come up in 3, right? And then reject, and then go down in a C wave, and then you start your bear market right here. And then you start your bear market right here. Right, you get a lower high, start your bear market, and then you're coming down, and it just takes a very long time, and you're consolidating, you're coming all the way down. That to me is what a bear market would look like. Right, you have your A wave, you need a B wave. Right, I know people are saying we're going to go straight down. Bitcoin's going to 30,000, altcoins are going to 0. But in my what I've seen and how I track assets, it's not down only and it's not up only. But you know, for Swift to start to build some momentum, need to close above this monthly open, and the first target would be 6549, and then you're moving up to that 0.12. Okay, so you have some levels there. That's the way I operate. If we do need that last little wave down to the downside, You know, I got 0.00, what is that? 0.002564 right through here. Okay, so that's what I got for Swift. You know, no, I had a, you know, nothing out here for the Fu Manchu, RSI. Yeah, still look, I mean, it's green. That is kind of bearish. This is kind of bearish. Bitcoin dominance is looking something like this, where you cross above, you're showing some bullish, you know, bullish momentum, but you're not really doing anything with it. It's kind of leaving bears, you know, in control. So that's what I got for Swift. If I'm checking out ZANO, there's a couple of them. So we're gonna check out ZANO. We're right down here. ZANO, ZBCN, no ZBEC. Okay, I don't have AAR. ARRR. Is that a Pirates one? R. I'm just messing. Okay, we're looking at ZANO here. I actually had one of my first profit taking labs was on ZANO, and I offered the, you know, my key levels on ZANO. These are all, I know we broke down below here. We broke down below here, but last time when I made a ZANO video, this was probably this was before this run through here. So it was down through here in July, August. And that's the rest of the way these levels work is, you know, we had the opportunity to hit 17, came back down, and when you tried that again, I mean, you hit that perfectly, hit it perfectly. That would be this retrace that I'm talking about. That's a B wave. When you come up through here like a B wave, and then this is you're finishing up your C wave. I do need to redo some of these, right? I do need to redo some of these. I'm gonna keep this yellow for sure. That one looks yellow mellow. But yeah, if you guys are interested in the Discord, it's linked in the description. Profit Lab series, where we talk about things like this, areas of interest, areas to protect your capital, things of that nature. Would offer, you know, ideas on, you know, an area where an asset might struggle, an area where an asset might look to reverse, things of that nature. We're gonna double check this, but for ZANO, you know, this up through here, this, I know it's weird, but this does look pretty corrective. This does look corrective. I don't know so far. I mean, so far we got this extension. What is it? 100. Okay, it's a small market cap. It can definitely hit that 4272 without a doubt. Okay, so if you do have a, you know, 1, 2, you have some type of like ABC for your third, you come down in a fourth. Maybe this could, I mean, this through here could be a fourth. You just have a type of flat pattern, just like Bitcoin. Type of expanded flat where you have an overextended B wave. You have an overextended B wave. We're going to check out, you know, if this is something that, yeah, okay. I don't think this is a fifth wave. We're gonna check this out just real quick, and then we'll move on. We got a couple more that we're diving deep into. That 786. That's a B wave. That's right at this. That's right at your retracement. So yeah, you're coming down through here. This is your A. This is a B wave. So you have an A. You have a B, coming down in a C wave. Okay, so this is still intact, right? So ZANO would be an example of we're looking for a fifth wave. You're looking for a fifth wave on ZANO until you come down and close below. I mean, I'll throw it down there. This is something where, I mean, you really could come down through here, right? You have a 1, 2, whatever, something through there. Bada bing, bada boom, baby, right there. So you're looking at ZANO. Yeah, the EMAs look kind of bearish. Everything looks bearish. I mean, it's been, EMAs are going to look bearish. Once your price, the way EMAs work is if your price is below your EMA, your EMA is going to trend downward. If your price is above the EMA, it's going to trend upward. That's just how it is. So the 200 is still going to trend up because the price is above the 200. The 100 is going to trend up slightly, but both of these are still going to trend down until you get above it. So we're probably going to get across ZANO. It really wouldn't surprise me if you see another leg down. If you see another leg down, honestly, it would not surprise me. So this A wave down through here, the A of the C, right? This is your 1, right? 1, 2, 3. 1, 4. We're gonna put this up here actually. right there. Right there. We're going to change this to, there we go. Cool. That's what we're looking at for ZANO, okay? That's what we're looking at for ZANO. Green dot. I'll update these charts as we go. So ZANO, criteria for a bull market and a bear market. My criteria for a bull market, Goonie, pirate chain. Oh, how is that? It is a pirate. It is a pirate chain. It is a pirate coin. Bull market and bear market. Overall structure. Overall structure for bull market, bear market, right? Overall structure for bull market, bear market. I'll hop over to Bitcoin real quick. Check this out. So, you know, I'm gonna go the. It's gonna be a lot. There's gonna be a lot less on the chart, so we can kind of see it. Oh, there's still a lot on the chart. Oh, that's XLM. I just want a lot less to be on the chart. Okay, so bull market, bear market. So, in terms of a bull market for, let's say, Bitcoin. Okay, Bitcoin I still think is in a bull market. If this structure is true. Okay, so this structure, you know, you have this one, you always have to have two scenarios, okay? So this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? In order for the overall structure to be invalidated, price needs to close below the wave 1. Wave 1 termination point. So close at $30,000. That's why if you've heard $30,000, that's where 30,000 comes into play. All right, people are saying, okay, we're going to go back test all the way back test down to the wave 1 high. Okay. A bear market, so that would insinuate, so if this was a bear market, we come down and close down below here, that means that we're going to have to go sideways for a prolonged period of time to restart this whole thing. It's not going to be a like this. This is a part of a correction. When people say bear market, it's going to be prolonged. It's not going to be a something like this where it's like, oh, okay, we're bottoming out, we're just going to start going up now. It's no, you're going to bottom out. You're going to have to bottom out, go sideways for a long period of time. Go look at XLM, XRP. Those were in bear markets where they just didn't really do much for years. Years and years and years, they didn't do much. This through here, I'm still expecting a fifth wave or a B wave retracement. You know, best case scenario, fifth wave. Worst case scenario, B wave retracement. And so B wave retracement, so let's say this is the 1, 2, 3. We have our fourth through here and our fifth. Right? Let's say that's what a lot of people are saying. That's what people have said, 5 waves up. Okay? That means if this is 5 waves up, right, we can disregard this ABC. And we're in A. We got to come back up for a B, where I got targets from 107 all the way up to 112, so something up through here. So you need an A, B, and then you got to come down for a C. All right, and that could be complex, right? Your C could be, right, and this could just be your A wave. And then you come up for a B. And then you come back down for a C. Okay? That to me is a bear. This is a bear market. This is a bear market. All right, once we come up and we reject on a key retracement, that would be a bear market. Sorry for my chicken scratch. But I hope that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. You know, in terms of if we're looking at the way that we look at upward impulses, upside impulses, you got to look at downside impulses as well. All right, so if this is a 1, 2, right, if this is your first wave, all right, let's invert this. Okay. If this is your first wave, just like when we go up, right, you got this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you got to come down. You got to come down for a 1, 2. And then you get your third, then you get your fourth, then you get your fifth. I don't think it's going to go to 0, but you get my point, right? It's not just going to just keep grinding this way. So I'm going to keep doing that. It's going to come back to some sort of retracement level, right? Maybe you come down through here, this 108. That's why I have this 108, 107 area. Come back down, reject, then you go. Then you start your third wave, and then you're going to start to see some crazy impulses to the downside. We haven't seen nothing yet. If we're about to enter a bear market, we haven't seen nothing yet. None of these candles are, it's going to be, you know, the third waves are the most impulsive. So you're going to get, you know, huge candles, more than this. All right, I think this is finishing up. But either way, it's very similar to the April correction. I talked about it in the Profit Lab series and the macro premium, where, you know, it's very similar to the April correction. So I go deep dives into those, but that's overall the the reasoning for that, for my, just based on the structure. And then also I look at, I look at liquidity. I look at true inflation right now. I just printed under 1%. So, inflation is going down. When inflation goes down, it's inevitable that governments print money. Governments love to print money. So governments are going to print money. They're going to print, and that's going to drive risk on assets up. So I go into the DXY, I go into all that stuff on my Friday, in the Friday labs. But in the gist, Phoenix, that's my criteria for a bull market. We're not even close to invalidation. Yes, we're in a long-term, we're in a correction. We're in a correction. But for a bear market, when people say bear market, it's where's XLM? All right, bear market for XLM, something where, you're doing something through here. Like, you're not really doing anything. I know there's nothing going on, but that's what it would be like. You're just kind of hanging out, and then you go. All right, hanging out, then you go for a while. This is pretty bad too. This is pretty bad too for 4 or 5 years, you're not really doing anything. Just kind of going sideways through here. Even longer too. The higher you go up for a longer period of time, you're going to have to go down, and then you're going to have to go sideways for a while too. So in terms of what we're going at, XPR. Just take a quicker look at these. Yeah, XPR I've had on this for a while. No hindsight. All these levels are done beforehand. I go into depth on, reasonings and things like that on deep dives and in the premium series. But overall, like I said, you're looking for a fifth wave. You got this 1, 2, you got this third. Pardon me, and then you got this fourth wave move. A lot of these have this expanded flat type where you have this overshooting B wave. Oh, pardon me. You have this overshooting B wave, which is fine, but it's a double trap, right? It's a double trap. You trap people right here, you trap people right here, and now you're trapping people down through here. So you got multiple traps going on. XPR, nothing has changed. XPR, the video I made from a long time ago is still valid. You got this one level down here, 17081. That'd be the, what you don't really want to close at below, right? You can come down a little bit more. Looks like you got a 1, 2, 3, 4 coming down for a fifth. So XPR, you're still looking for a little bit lower. You're right in the middle of the channel. The way that I operate as a foundation for investing is, I map out key levels. I map out levels that, other people use indicators. Other people use, EMAs. I use EMAs as well. But also, price, it respects EMAs, but at the same time, it typically diverges from EMAs during downtrends, and during uptrends they'll get away from EMAs, and then downtrends it'll get away from EMAs. EMAs will kind of dictate the trend, the where the movement is going, but not necessarily the levels. Sometimes the levels, but sometimes it's more so, okay, this is a trend, you break that, you're changing your trend. So some of these levels, this 17081, that would be a level I'm looking at, but you're right in the middle of a channel, kind of a sketchy area to add. If I was in XPR, I'm waiting for either a breakout or maybe a breakdown and then a recovery. So one of those two for XPR. For us to go down to those levels around 30,000 would have to be a 75% drop. By then damage is done. Yes, damage is done. But yes, and you're right. Damage would be definitely done coming down to 30,000, right? If it came down to, if Bitcoin came all the way down, like let's say we came up to, so the thing is, to get down to these levels, to get down to those levels, I would think, based on structure and how things work, is if we're coming down to these levels, we're not in a 5-wave. I mean, we could be in a 5-wave impulse. That's the thing. You still could be, but we would still need that come up through here. You'd need more momentum to the downside, right? Shorts would have to lift, take profits, or get liquidated, and then a bunch of people would short, and then you come back down. It's almost like the ball underwater theory, where you got to have some momentum to the downside to get that upside move. Okay, you got to get the when you're oscillating, like down through here. Let's just say we're starting down through here, right? You're just oscillating down, oscillating down, oscillating down, and then you go up. Okay, it's the same concept, right? You're oscillating down, oscillating down, oscillating down, then you go up. So it's the same concept where if we want to, if bears are going to take control back again, right? They want to see something like a weak three-wave move, like come up through here, and like start to fizzle out, fizzle out, fizzle out. Then they can slam that down. The damage would be done. You know, once this trend line is broken, we're taking out this trend line and we come up in reverse. Yeah, you know, that would be the damage would be done if you came all the way down to this, you know, 30,000 level. But unless you broke it, right, then you're still looking for your fifth wave. Until you've broken it, you're still looking for a fifth wave, and that's my point is, and the fifth wave could definitely be more than this. This is just that trend line I've had about 145 to 165, 180 at the most. But yes, the damage would be done. Either way, I'm looking for a retracement and a rejection or a breakout, one of those two. So I'm looking for some kind of bounce, something to, because sell side, I mean, Bitcoin it's the most oversold ever. I mean, I think so. Yeah, it's like it's crazy oversold. The Fu Manchu, I think this is the most oversold it's been. Yeah, this is the most I guess back in 2018, right? But this is the most oversold on the Fu Manchu, the RSI are in the oversold zone. So you're looking for, and a bunch of on the Discord, I have the trading view indicators set up for a bunch of assets. A lot of them are flashing green. So there is bullish divergence building. It's just a matter of fact of, you know, the catalyst for like maybe the Clarity Act. I mean, Washington, I don't really put a lot of faith in them getting stuff done. It's more so the amount of leverage and liquidity. There's a bunch of liquidity to the upside. It's just a matter of time before it gets attacked, in my opinion. So, but yeah, that's what I got for that Phoenix. So in terms of, what was I getting at? XPR, ZBEC. We're going to go to, is this it? Is this ZBEC? This is. I haven't looked at ZBEC before, but I heard it went crazy. It did go crazy, huh? Yeah, it went crazy. It went crazy. But yeah, ZBEC, you got this 1, 2, ABC third, coming down for a fourth. What has this come retraced down to? If we're looking for this, yeah, so back right to that 886. So that's your almost your full retracement. You don't want to. You can't close down below. You can't close down below this right through here. So can't close below that. Can't close below 0.0018, and then your retracement level at the minimum, because this does kind of look like just it doesn't look complete. It did run late. It ran late. When did it run? May. So this is a couple months behind. All right, this is a couple months behind. This would be something where, you know, you're looking for, you know, you got this A wave. You're coming down through here in 3 waves. You probably need 3 waves up. You know, the timing could be different, and I'm just drawing for illustration purposes. But you need 3 waves up. And then you can come back down. And then you can go. A little bit behind, right? It pumped in May. Everything kind of pumped in November. So this is 6 months behind. No, nothing really bullish quite yet. I mean, you do have some slowing bullish momentum, but you're still below the moving average on the RSI. Fu Manchu, you're getting down to those oversold zones. It is a pretty new coin. When was it established? 2024. Yeah, pretty new coin. It is in a nice 1-2 setup. Or sorry, it has 3 waves up right now. Come down through here. Something like right there. So you break out above this trend line with a back test. You got to have back tests with these dang crypto breakouts, or else I just get sold off into oblivion, and then, you know, it doesn't count. So we can use this right through there. Bango. Bango. So it's almost like a nice little triangle coming down through here, coming down through here. Wouldn't be surprised if you come down, back test, go. You know, for that third wave. But like I always say, down through the levels down at the bottom, not so much nervous. Up through here when you're getting at retracement levels like we talked about for Bitcoin, a little bit sketchy where you can reject, and then you're really in for a shit show. So that's what I got for ZBCN, right in between this channel. Okay, I might do a deep dive on Tuesday or Thursday on it, just because I don't have any levels. The other assets already have levels on it, so I could expand on it. I'm not gonna I'm not going to do, full deep dives, but Tuesdays and Thursdays I do deep dives, and then also on that Friday for the Patreon members I do deep dives on requests. Pirate Chain. I've never. Oh, let me check out. Yeah, Pirate Chain real quick. Pirate Chain. Pirate Chain. Coinbase. I'm just gonna use Coinbase. Pirate Nation or Pirate Chain. This is it right here on Pirate Chain. Pirate right here. I think this is it. I think so. Let me check this out. I think it is. Yep, R. That's classic. I saw the symbol. I said that has to be something with the pirate. Reminds me of Dodgeball. Oh wow! Look at this thing. Wow. 2021. Wow. See, this is Phoenix. This is a great example of what a bear market would be. This is a perfect illustration. Right? This is a perfect illustration. Perfect illustration where, you have some type of. I mean, what is this? I don't even know the market cap. Hey, Giga or Goonie, you want to drop the market cap if you can find it for me? But something like this, where you have this retracement down through here, and you got this like 3-wave move to the upside. Yeah, it didn't move that much. It didn't go crazy. But once you got this rejection, then you had to come down and go sideways and do a bunch of nothing. Restart your whole structure. The idea of a bear market is you have to restart your structure, and that just takes a long time. Then you got to come through here, do a bunch of BS. This is another setup for something bigger. So in order to avoid restarting on Bitcoin, restarting on the market, but I do think, I do go into a lot of comparative charts, tons of comparative charts. There is some reason to believe that, altcoins are gaining strength against Bitcoin. Bitcoin dominance. We can check out some Bitcoin dominance in a little bit. Others versus Bitcoin, total 3 versus Bitcoin, others dominance, things of that nature, other just straight up assets compared to Bitcoin, Chainlink's looking good, XRP, XLM, things of that nature. But this is what, so you enter into a bear market, you enter into it. This would be that rejection point. Okay, we're coming down to that C wave and then reaccumulation, right? Just accumulating, setting up. You'd have to restart everything, set up. Pirate Chain. You'd have to reset, then go. See, Pirate right now looks like it looks like it's building up something. Looks like it's pent up aggression. It does look like pent up aggression. None of these, all these were invalidated, so that's nothing. That's nothing. This right here would be like your 1-2. That would be your 1-2 right through there. So you almost have like a 1-2. You have a 3, you have a 4 coming down. It's just a smaller version. It's just a way smaller version. Yeah, pirate coin for sure. Let's see through here from this second wave high. Let's do an extension real quick. This thing, I don't know what the market cap. It's probably pretty small, this market cap. So it probably went up to the 4272. 3414. Just past the 3414. It went 55 million. Okay, so it's pretty tiny. Yeah, so that 3414, 4272. That's what I target on those really tiny assets. Those are just you're looking for a moonshot. So you got this 1, you got this 2, you got this 3. You're looking for probably going to take out some lows. If I'm being honest, it looks like it's probably going to take out some lows. We can check that out real quick. At least just for a possible target to the downside. Oh, get rid of this for here. My chicken scratch. Sorry about that. Chicken scratch down through here. So this 2-wave low. Wow, it's right there. Unless we're coming down to a 1-to-1. Unless you're coming down to a 1-to-1, then then you're looking for something different. But here we go. We got a wide range. Like I said, I can drop these. If I do deep dives, then I'll get into all my levels. But for right now, you're right above. You break down below here, you're more than likely. Actually, that's you can't. You're back testing that 1 wave high. So you close down below 25 cents for Pirate Coin. You're invalidating this whole setup. and then you got to just redo it. So that's the thing when you invalidate setups, and you just got to redo it. Then you need a 1-2. Then you got to come up and don't invalidate this, and then you got to, it's just time. That's the thing with bear markets. Bear markets take time. When you invalidate structure, it just takes time. It's frustrating. It's annoying. You got this. This doesn't look the best, right? This doesn't look the best. The reason why I don't like the RSI right now is because you have like this A, B. Doesn't really look like you've finished out yet with the C wave when you're at your target where you need to bounce. So really looking for a bounce through here. If I owned Pirate Coin, if I'm looking to enter Pirate Coin, I'm putting entries around 25. Putting entries, or if I entered, I entered around 25 cents. I have my stop losses around 25 cents. Looking for take profits around 61 cents. You go to some channels and they're looking for. I don't use leverage. Just spot, but that's potato. If you have the ability to use leverage and you're really in it every single day, I just don't have the time. Right? I just don't have the time. I have a job. I have a lot of stuff I do on the outside. I don't have the time to use leverage and to watch and to get in and get out. Swing trader, investor, not looking to day trade. So, but that's what I would be looking for Pirate Chain, at least for the weekly. I see where you're coming from. We just disagree. I would consider BTC in a bear market. I would consider Pirate Chain dead. Yeah, that's a lot of people. So we could definitely disagree. I'm not. I have people in my Discord who think we're in a bear market. A lot of people think we're in a bear market. But to say that we're going to go straight down to 30,000 or we're going to go straight down, I think is kind of foolish. I think it's foolish, and I think it's market sentiment is kind of showing that most people think we're in a bear market and we're going to zero. I'm a contrarian. That's how I kind of always invested. I invest when assets have value, when they've shown to be, in place for adoption, when macroeconomics look good, right? Trueflation is down, PMI is up, so the market is expanding. The economy is expanding, inflation is low. We just have to figure out and sort out what the Fed is going to do, what the United States government is going to do, and then things will start to be set in place, okay? In terms of we're about to enter a recession, I want you to go and check out the end of 2022, the GDP growth for the end of 2022, right? That is when we entered a technical recession, and I think we're coming out of a recession. I could be wrong. We could be getting ready to enter a recession, but I don't believe that we're in a I believe that technically we've been in a recession. I don't have to believe it. Technically we've been in a recession. And based on structure, Pirate Chain is not dead, right? Pirate Chain is not dead. It's found some support at the wave 1 termination point. So technically, based on technical analysis, it's not dead, right? And so, in terms of Pirate, it is a 55 million. It is a risky. It's a small market cap. It has been going down since. When is this? 2021. It's a long time, right? It's a long time to go down and go sideways. Things are dead until they're not. That's the way I look at things. Clarity Act will be a top signal. Yeah, I think we're going to pump into Clarity Act once we get some kind of idea on. Once we see if the Fed catches up with Trueflation, right? They've said their target is 2%. And interest rates really haven't. They've been cut. Interest rates being cut haven't put any money into risk on assets quite yet. So in terms of, I haven't looked at CHAINLINK. I'll take a look at CHAINLINK for sure. In terms of the Clarity Act, there's a lot of bogus right now. I think banks right now are suppressing the market of crypto. They want custody of crypto. They want to be able to lend crypto at a certain percentage. They want to catch some action, right? Banks want action. And so what you're seeing right now is kind of an arm wrestle between exchanges, which right now they control the markets. Let's just be real. They control the markets. They control liquidation levels. They set the narrative, and then news comes out. Right, so they set the narrative on the price action, on the structure, and then news comes out to fit that narrative. So right now we're getting, it's Monday. We're all used to green Mondays and red Tuesdays. So it's almost, it's almost comedy at this point where every Monday is green and the rest of the week is red. We'll see what happens after that. in terms of where am I going now? ICP. Did I check out everything? I did. All right, thanks, Goonie. I checked out everything for you. We're gonna check out ICP for Luna. ICP I was tracking for a while. I was looking to get into ICP, and it just, it just kept tanking. Look at all of this. Look at everything it slammed through, went through, tracking it. It did hit the 786 perfectly. So, right, I gotta come down through here. Had this level, everything was invalidated. So this would be, ICP has totally invalidated every level. Right, ICP has invalidated every level, so now it needs a 1-2 setup. I can get rid of a lot of this stuff, actually. I can get rid of everything, actually. Until we get a 1-2 setup, ICP. I think Pirate looks better than ICP. That's from just the chart perspective. And I did ICP. I did an early stage profit lab where, taking profits up through the levels up through here. Was it I think it was up in through here. Yeah, this when it went up to that $9 range. But right now, yeah, everything's invalidated. We had this 1-2 setup, invalidated everything. Everything's lower low, so now you need 5 waves up. You need like some type of 1-2, and then you can go. ICP right now, just from this low to this high, what have we done? Yeah. I just want to throw this one up here just for that retracement. But in terms of where we're going, it just feels like ICP hasn't. It needs to kind of just go sideways for a little bit. 1-4. That's not a very typical spot to find any kind of help. Your 1-6-1-8's a negative, so that's probably not very good. That's probably not very reassuring, Luna. Yeah, this looks pretty bad. I would rather be in Pirate than ICP for sure. Yeah, there's no real levels. It's taking out lows. Even for something like this low, we got to come in down through here. I'm just trying to find a level. Just trying to find a level. 1-6-1-8. That's the level. I use 1-6-1-8 a lot. I use the 1-6-1-8 a ton. And here's like a smaller level. Just for a 1-2 setup, just for something. All right, this is what bear markets do. Bear markets leave so much uncertainty at the bottom because when you take out lows like this, it can keep going, right? That's the difference between a correction and entering a bear market. Is bear markets can keep the dip can keep dipping. There's no structure to support it. There's nothing here to help. Indicators. Do we have bullish? Yeah, you kind of got some bullishness. You kind of do. You really do. You got some, right? You got lower lows on the price. You got higher lows. You got higher lows. Do we have a higher low? Technically, right now, it does look like it kind of wants to break it, though. Kind of got some higher lows. So you're looking to bounce, right? Looking for some type of reversal. I just want to get the weeks on this. Yeah. But 98 bars, almost 2 years, I do want to check this out right here. You got this A. I want to invert this real quick. I'm just interested in ICP too, just because I did a profit lab series on it back when it was going up and had some key levels to take some to de-risk, and boy, that would have been nice to get out. If you're in it. 886, I guess the one, we'll put one right through here, 72 cents. Wow. Let's put this 886. That's another area of resistance that you could. 786, 886. Those are areas of resistance. So ICP looking pretty sad. Sorry, Luna. ICP looking kind of sad. In terms of where we at, boom, done, done, done. I'm gonna check out Clarity Act. I don't even know when the Clarity Act. I mean, what Senator Lumen said they're working every day. They got to be slacking every day. I don't know how you work every day and something still isn't done yet. In terms of where are we at? Chainlink. Yeah, Chainlink. I actually own Chainlink. I'm probably gonna do a deep dive on Chainlink as well. Probably gonna do a deep dive on Chainlink. It's following the same. I'm gonna get rid of this. It's following the same pattern, not the same, but similar pattern to what we were looking at for pardon me, I can't catch my thoughts. Chainlink, there is some key levels down up through here, down below the February open, down below every single level that we've had. So we are taking out lows for sure. We're looking to stay above. This is that level we're looking to stay above right through here. Something right through there, just like that. So, 821, you're pretty much at your lows. Maybe if you sell off just a little bit more, you can, but you're in your ABC. This is a clear ABC. A lot of people kind of got messed up with some of these expanded flat patterns like Bitcoin because you had a higher, you had a higher high. Or you had a higher high. So you're like, okay, well, you had a higher high, so you must have hit a fifth wave. That's what really confuses people. When you see something like this, oh, obviously that's a B wave. It's you got lower highs. You went up in a structured move. You got lower highs. Obviously, it's a B wave. But, in terms of Chainlink, got some levels up through here. Really looking to close above this, 1435. There's a little band of resistance here. You really couldn't get through right here. Up, down through here. Kind of struggled through it, and then over through here. Struggled through it. So that $13 to $14, looking to really get above through there. But we're in the red zone. You can see it. I see it. We're in this red zone down through here. You're down at lows. You're down at relative lows. I think you're the most oversold you've ever been. Yes, you are. You're the most oversold you've ever been. You have you're below your RSI levels as well. Everything has broken down. You are slowing bearish momentum. Does that mean anything? Not necessarily. Not unless you get some actual price action. Fu Manchu. These are the lowest levels, right where you found a bounce. Yeah, this was a pretty temporary bounce through here. You kind of just needed to reaccumulate. If you close down below 821, this could be Chainlink and a lot of other assets for a while. You just go sideways for 72 bars, something like that, for a year. That's what's at stake. So that's I've been a proponent of finding some kind of reversal. January, January you had a potential to start your 1-2, fell through. We all know, and so now February there's not much time left. You got to figure it out because this correction is starting to creep on some key levels. I mean, it's 70 cents away from a weekly close. That's not good. That's not good at all. On the RSI level again, I think you're at your lowest levels on your RSI level. Lowest levels on RSI level, lowest levels on Fu Manchu. Prices, I've had prices from $37 to $67. I know people have $72 to $100. I'm just looking for, I do have, my channel, I do, it's not extremely conservative, but for the most part, have some more conservative numbers than normal just because of the volatility of crypto. I like the phrase pockets never hurt the pockets. I tend to I layer. I get out at key levels that I have marked in my mind that I've seen at previous rejections, key fib levels. I don't just strictly use fib levels, but key areas like for $37. If I'm in Chainlink and I'm taking profits, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. Taking some profits at each level, at each stage. I keep everything through a command center. I have all my assets in one area with all my take profit levels, all my stop loss levels, P&L levels, everything like that. But Chainlink still looks good. It has the most use case for any kind of crypto. So, until we get out of this volatility range down through here, right? Closed above 14. I know 14 was such a, oh, 14, we were just there. I know it. I know we were just at 14. It does, I mean, you have the possibility of, you did come down through here, like a little shoulder coming down, little head, maybe another shoulder, maybe your 1-2 build right through there, and then you go. Okay, this could serve as a rejection point of your 1-2, just because if we're thinking, it takes a week or two to build, right? These EMAs are going to keep dropping, and they're all kind of hovered around. They're all going to be right around that area as well. So EMAs, like I said, trends, they reject trends, or they allow trends to change. So if we're in a reversal, maybe we come down through here and bounce on a 20 and then go. So take a couple weeks. Clarity Act, what they said, maybe April, maybe May. I have no idea when it could pass, but overall, that's what I got for CHAINLINK. I think I covered everyone's Pirate Chain, ICP, ZBEC, XPR, ZANO, SWIFT. All right, cool. Let me get into, I'm just going to check out Bitcoin dominance for a little bit. We had overall, you're still closing down below your EMAs. This 100 has had support for a while. On the Fu Manchu, it did print a red dot. A red dot on the Fu Manchu, you're down below the moving average on the RSI. And you have some serious bearish momentum. Right? When you just got fluttering, when you're fluttering with some bullish momentum, and you're not really going anywhere, kind of just going sideways, not really doing much, going sideways below EMAs, below the zero, not doing anything. You did the same thing over here, and you had this drop. Okay, same thing over here, had this drop. This was alt season. What everyone said was alt season. All right, during an uptrend, we had a correction this was alt season. I don't think that's alt season. Same thing happened right here, right? Not a lot going on. You had some bullish momentum just grinding up, and this was another alt season, I guess. So that's, I know you can sense my sarcasm. I just don't think, alt season has hit. I don't think people are going to be ready for what's going on. It does look like you have this setup where you got this 1, 2, 3, you have a fourth wave move, and you're coming down for a fifth. You're going to come down. Even if you come down through, we have some targets marked out on a different chart. I just wanted to clear this up. Or you could even have a 3-wave move down, 3-wave move up, and you're going to get your 3-wave move back down. Regardless, you're looking for continuation to the downside. All right, you've tried to break out right here, couldn't. Now you're just waiting. But if Bitcoin does kind of find its footing and start to do something and go somewhere, then Bitcoin dominance could start to reverse and get going, get moving and grooving. In terms of, I did want to check out DEGEN real quick. DEGEN, all my DEGENs in the house. Man, DEGEN has been crazy. This 1.5 level we talked about for a while. It's it was the key. I spoke about it in my Profit Lab series. I spoke about it in the Discord. Right, I had 1.5 level, trying to close above it. Could not close above it. Once we closed down below, right, de-risked. Got to de-risk on an asset like this. This is an asset where, Phoenix, if we're talking about a retracement, we're not looking for, I'm not looking for 5 waves up on DEGEN. You could be looking for 5 waves up, but this is where, DEGEN's in a dangerous, it's in a situation where, 3 waves up and we could be done. Right? We could be done. Right? 3 waves up, you're done, and then you come back down, and then you do nothing, and you go sideways for a very long time because you've taken out all your lows. It's a $14 million asset, tiny asset, but it is coming up to a point. Right? DEGEN is coming up to a point. Once again, this asset loves to do this. I swear, this asset loves to do this. Pent-up aggression, oscillate down, figure out, what, actually I do kind of want to move, and then it goes crazy and it moves. So I do expect DEGEN to go crazy. It's on Coinbase. It's a base layer 3. It is a meme coin as well. I think Coinbase, what it does is I think it pumps its own coins. You know how I talked about exchanges controlling the market, controlling sentiment? I think they pump their own coins. Why wouldn't they? Binance pumps its own coins. That's why it doesn't correct when even Bitcoin corrects. We all know what CZ does. He's a mastermind at his profession, at his craft. That dude knows how to extract as much money from people as possible and put it in his own pockets. But like I said, DEGEN, we're coming up to a point. I'm expecting a three-wave move to the upside. Three-wave move to the upside. After that, I'll de-risk heavily. Not everything, because if you do get three waves up and you come down in a fourth, then we can get a fifth and maybe new all-time highs. But until then, you've come down so low. Even a retracement at these levels, that's 17x, right? 17x, and we've been getting in more and more as we come down through here. So just layering in, protecting our portfolio, making sure that we're positioned. There is, if I could add even a layer down through here, but I'm just going to keep it clean like this. This 1.5 level, until you close above 1.5, right? 1.5, that 20 is right along that 1.5 as well. Until you close above 1.5, right? We can't even target this, but you do, and then it's a straight shot. Straight shot. That's how fast this thing will move. This thing's going to move and groove. In terms of what up, Major? What is that? A ARCBLOCK? Is that this? Yeah, ARCBLOCK. This thing is good. I entered this on my Profit Lab series. I entered ARCBLOCK on my Profit Lab series. Actually, no, I'm waiting. I entered a different asset. I'm waiting on ARCBLOCK to take the February open. But ARCBLOCK, I mean, this thing is just oscillating down, ready to. I think this is going to shock a lot of people. $19 million asset. It looks better than DEGEN, in my opinion. It looks better than DEGEN. A little bit more structure on the way down. It's not just a shit show sell off. In terms of the 1-2, yes, you did close below this. You closed below this. Yes, you did. So you're looking for a retracement. That's what I'd be looking for in ARC. All right, looking for a retracement level. Where are we at for retracements for the whole entire thing, right? That's the one good thing, I guess, for retracement is you're just taking the low to the high now. Just taking the low to the high. I can get rid of this. Okay, low to the high, 786. We're gonna move this up through here, just like that. Bada bing, bada boom, baby. Just areas like that. That's what I'm looking for. And I mean, when I say retracement levels, people might not be excited. But I mean, when your retracement level is a 4x, an 8x, or a 14x, all right, that's what I think. A lot of these smaller cap coins. I mean, I just covered DEGEN, where you're looking at retracement levels. Your structure has been invalidated. You're just looking at a retracement. We all know that crypto can be crazy. Does this thing go up and set new all-time highs and get up to $6? Who knows? It did it over here where it just, you didn't really do anything, but at the same time, yeah, it was invalidated. This whole thing was invalidated. All right, was invalidated. So I guess, I mean, if you really want to set up a 1-2, it's a 1-2 setup. This whole thing is just a 1-2 setup. I mean, you can think about it in two ways. Those are the two options. You got a 1-2, okay, or you got an invalidated 1-2, and you're looking for a correction to come back down and set a new low and then go. Either way, I think my idea and my framework and thesis stays the same. I am not nervous or worried at lows. I'm nervous at retracement levels. An asset like this, it pumps up, right? It hits a three-wave move. That's nervous to me. To me, that's nervous because what you got is ARC. Is that another one, Major? ARIG. If that's another one, let me know. This is the sketchy area right through here. That to me is where it's okay. Is it over? up through here, is it over, right? That's when, to me, that's what bears should be thinking right now is, okay, we've come down through here. We've been in a downtrend for a prolonged period of time. Should I really try to short this? How much lower can it go? Right? Maybe it goes a little bit lower. Right? It's not about time frame. Time frame is it's clickbaity. You can get people to come by, check out your channel. Oh, check this out by this date, or time is running out, or XYZ. You could fill in the blank where they try to get you because they try to make you feel pressure to make a decision. That's not how I operate in my channel. That's not how, I'm not saying, okay, by the end of February we're gonna see, $2.96. My framework is by the end of February we should see a 1-2 move. What does that 1-2 move get to? I'm not sure. Right, but we need to see some kind of 1-2 move, or the continuation correction. The correction continues, and then you're looking at, not even March. You're looking at maybe April, May, until the time comes again where you're coming up to a point. So this thing is coming up to a point. I mean, ARCBLOCK actually doesn't have to make a decision till about March, so it can kind of go sideways until March. Did it go? When did it go? January 24. So it was a little bit. What is November 24? Where's the November 24? Okay, so it was kind of in a downtrend. It's kind of, changed the timing compared to most cycles. Pardon me, most assets. This has been going. This kind of had its move in, not really a move, kind of just a one-wave impulse. Not ABT. Okay, I got to check something else out then. ARC. I'll check it out. ARC for sure. ARC. But yeah, my point remains. You're looking for. I mean, it's up to March, right? You're looking for a decision in March. Didn't really do anything in November, but my point remains the same. I'm bullish down here at lows. I'm bullish at lows regardless if it's traditional stocks, precious metals. I like buying stuff when it's cheap and selling when it's expensive. If let's say, for example, because I know this is a lot of people's situation right now. Okay, let's say you bought down here. Let's say you bought at 44 cents. You bought at a 90% discount, but you're down right now. You're down 58%. You probably feel like crap. But you shouldn't feel like crap. I'm telling you, you shouldn't feel like crap. You bought an asset 90% off. It's like going to Best Buy and there's a $1,000 TV and you get it for $100. Someone walks in 2 weeks after you and they get it for $50. Are you really upset that you could have saved an extra $50? I know the point of the amount invested could change, but the idea is still the same as, shit, I still got a kick-ass deal on something that I think has this value, right? Because you're not going to just buy something for nothing, right? You're not just, right? You're going to do hopefully some due diligence. You're going to go check it out on your own. You're going to map out some levels to the best of your ability. Maybe check out a YouTuber, Crypto Vision 808, get into a deep dive, be like, you know what? This guy's got some levels. I matched up with these levels. This other guy has some levels. Do your own research. Go out and go check the sources. Go see, what other people are saying. See what you say. Compare it. Ask. That's all I'm saying. And you get a $1,000 TV for $100. Yeah, you're down. Whatever. You're down. What I said, 50%. Okay, but if we even hit a retrace level, right, you're still up 300%. You're still up 500%. So it's the more so of the mindset of, okay, I'm buying an asset that has been devalued into oblivion. I'm going to position myself and have patience. Or if you use leverage, good luck to you. I don't use leverage, so I don't even know that world of just constant fear of being liquidated. I can just hang out, relax, have levels where I de-risk, have levels where I take profit, and just let it be. In terms of, do you short the market? I I'll short traditional stocks. I started from traditional stocks. I do short traditional stocks because I'll do like a long-term short. based on like these monthly levels. So I come through here and I'll, look at ABVE, for example, and I'll wait for a red dot on the monthly and I'll short. I just don't have a lot of, so that's a good question, Phoenix. I just don't have a lot of time. I'll short when, if I can get in. I don't even know if Robinhood, I haven't even checked, if I'm being honest, on Robinhood for shorting crypto. If they allow for shorting, yeah. If Bitcoin comes up to, yeah, if I can short on Robinhood, if Bitcoin comes up to that 107 level, 108, 109 up through here, and rejects, yeah, I'll short right here for sure. Yeah, I'll for sure short. I typically hedge my bets. I do like to short traditional stocks, like I said, but I'll hedge my bets in like precious metals. Like I was in silver for a little bit. Got out of silver. I didn't time the top. I didn't time the bottom. But I'll hedge my bets against things like that. I'll hedge my bet against crypto with, blue chip stocks like Tesla's. For a long time I was in General Dynamics. I was in Lockheed Martin, things like that. Once we got out of the war, once we kind of stopped doing stuff, I transitioned to assets like AI, things like that, SoundCloud AI, Archer Aviation, just traditional stocks. But I'll short for sure. I'll short. I just use long-term time frames to short. So I use long-term time frames to short, and I haven't been a big short on crypto just because it's such it's crazy asset class. It can flip flop any day of the week. Let me see, ARC Kraken. Hopefully I'm using the right one. All right, Kraken. I definitely won't short right now. That's for sure. I wouldn't short right now personally, just because I think, I just think I look at macro levels. I don't just look at. I'm not a chart monkey. Wow, this is cool. This looks pretty good. This looks pretty good. Yeah, this looks pretty good. Pretty clean look right through here. Do we wanna say that? Where's your? You could have to come back down again and then go. That's the thing with these big cut patterns like that. Until you get like a nice clean where you come up and you kind of like oscillate down like this and then go. Until you get something like that, it really, they could trap you with something like this. They get you like this, and then you got to come back down and then you go. All right. Can't figure out the count on it. All right, yeah, I'll check it out. So, when was it created? 2025. So it was just created. $69 million asset, tiny asset. Hopefully I'm on the right one. I'm on Kraken, so hopefully I'm on the right one. Yeah, in terms of, very wiki. You have just a straight impulse. This is on the weekly. Oh, this is on the daily. I'm sorry. This is on the daily. Okay, let me see here. Let me see on the weekly. Yeah, same concept. DEGEN. I'll hop back over to DEGEN. DEGEN conclusion was I'm looking for a three-wave. I'm looking for a retracement on DEGEN. Retracement on DEGEN. It's coming up to a point again towards the end of February. Coming up to a point. I'll go check it out real quick. This is kind of, so these assets like this are kind of sketchy to me. If I'm being honest, I try to be as transparent as possible. Not a lot of information, not a lot of data. First, it just came out in April 2025. This pump, could it be Kraken pumping it? Like we talked about, exchanges pumping up their own coins to gain attention, to get people interested, right, in more Kraken things. It's AI that actually has solid. Okay, so it is AI. Okay, so it's an AI coin. Okay, so I like that. So it actually has something. It's not just some crazy fluff. In terms of a count, this definitely looks corrective. This looks corrective, right? Where you got this, it's almost just like a grind up. It's almost a grind up right through here, something like this. Let me do through here. You got some type of like broadening wedge, something like that. That's exactly what I'm thinking right through here. Just looking at it, it looks corrective. It does look corrective. This definitely looks like, let's come through here. It's just hard to tell. Like, do I take the low through here? Do I take this low? It's hard to do. It's going to be hard to do TA on this. You're right up at that 382. That's your rejection zone. That's your retracement level. So if I'm looking at a retracement level, I'm like, okay, well, you hit one area where I would think, you know, in terms of a setup on the weekly for any kind of 1-2. I mean, this would be your 1-2. 3, come down for a 4th, go get a 5th for your correction. Let me see here. If this comes up and hits that, I don't even know to take this wick either. This is a tricky one, Major. This is a tricky one. Very tricky. Very tricky. Coming up through here, 786. Average jack down. Okay, I mean, technically coming up through one more time up to the 886. So this is your, that 786, 886 is your rejection zone where you're looking to reject. I mean, you wick up like crazy to your 2. Man, this is tough. Yeah, I would be, you know, I'd be a little bit conservative when I'm looking at an asset like this. Coming through here. Where is this 886, 786 at? Something like this right through here. Something like that. And then if this is an impulse, but it's not an impulse. I mean, it is an impulse. It is an impulse, but it's not an impulse, if that makes sense. It's an impulse off this 1-2. This is tricky, yeah. This is trickier, yeah. Because, I mean, if these are 1-2s, they're pretty much canceling each other out. You take this to this right through here. I mean, it's right at that 382 again. It's even closer to the 382. Yeah, I would be pretty conservative with this asset. I'm taking this through here and then this 786. That 786 is right on that trend line. Yeah. Just because it does look like it does look corrective, like you're just grinding up. And, you know, if you want to finish this pattern, you got to kind of oscillate down a little bit, finish like a cup and handle pattern, and then you can go and start going. That's what I'd say. There's not a lot of information on the indicators. You do have higher highs, so that is one good thing. You have higher highs on RSI. You got higher highs on price, so that's good. Fu Manchu, it's not a lot of information on it. Yeah, you have a bunch of momentum, but at any point you can get a red dot through here and reject, come back down, back test, maybe go again one more time, or fall through, take out some lows. So that's what I'd be looking at for ARC. High potential though. I mean, you got some until you get this. I mean, I guess we really could. Until you get this low though, that's the thing. Like where are we taking this low to? Where are we taking this low to? So yeah, you break above 7.7 cents, you close above this on the weekly, then you're looking for some higher prices. That's what I would say. On Sol, huh? Big initial move. Binance chart. First move was 6. There's a Binance chart as well. Yeah, I'll check out the Binance chart. Yeah, there's just not a lot on this. Let me see. ARC on Binance. Maybe there's more information. I'm just gonna look at the. I'm gonna look at the indicators to see if there's anything going on over there. Am I tripping? Maybe I'm tripping. Blowfin. Yeah, I don't know. It's not through here. I don't think that's through here, so I don't know. Yeah, that's what I got. That's what I got for ARC though. That's what I got for ARC. ARC USDT. Let's check out to see if there's anything on here. Oh, right here. Here we go. USDT. Yeah, let's check this out. Let's just see if there's actually some more information on it. Okay. Whoa. Was I looking at a different chart then? Is this the chart you're talking about? Or is the chart that I just looked at the one you're talking about? Because they're totally different charts. That's the thing with crypto, is just, what the heck? Not even close. Not even close. This is it, huh? Is this it right here? If this is it, let me know. I'm going to hop over to DEGEN real quick. So yeah, so DEGEN, this is what we're looking at. We're looking at a decision. Once again, if you're new to DEGEN, this is what DEGEN does. It likes to come up to decisions. So we got a decision by the middle of February. You're looking for a 3-wave move because you've taken out lows. So we're looking for a 3-wave move up through here, something like that. This is danger zone up through here. So that's what I got for DEGEN. You know, if you're in for lows, right? If you're in for lows, I mean, even if you're in from down through here, right? That's still a 200 to 300% move. Even if you're in from, you know, 3 cents. If you thought that, you know, the breakout was right here, you know, it's 100% to 248%. Until you get 5 waves up, this 3-wave move to the next move is gonna be, that's gonna be my prominent thought process until you come up in 3, come down in 4, or if you just tear through everything, then you're like, okay, take out. I mean, if you take out the high, obviously you're looking at something different. But until then, a little bit more conservative. So, yep. Arc Sol P on. That's it. Yep. That's it, huh? Yeah, that's a way different chart. That's a way different chart. Way different chart. 2023. Okay. Yeah, way different chart. You have a 1-2. Oh, don't want that. I always do that on accident. Yeah, I mean, 4272 made it all the way up. This is a finished 1-2, I'm assuming. All right, kind of got a 1-2, almost like a 3, 4, 5. I don't like that the 5th is more impulsive, but it is what it is. Unless you got, you know, 3 waves and then you just invalidated everything. Those are the only 2 options. So if we do have a 1-2, how far do we come down? Yeah, we're fine, right? We're fine. Yeah, we're fine. We're good. Good to go. Good to go. Man, this will be crazy. What is this? Is this, what's the market cap on this? Wow. You know, you're just looking for some retraces. Something like this. I mean, 786 even up through here. Wow. This is some crazy levels. Crazy, crazy levels. If you can get up to it and figure yourself out and not take a dump. Right? Not take a dump. But yeah, something like this I could go into a deep dive with an asset like this. Just for more information, things like that. Longer. Ooh. Whoa, hold up. Look at that. Hold up. Look at that. Okay, what's going on? I mean, are you gonna do something? Are you gonna do something about it? Or are you just gonna play around? Just gonna play around and be that type of asset. So we'll see. We'll see what's going on with this. Can my mouse work? Got a green dot on the Fu Manchu breaking above the RSI. This looks, I don't like that. You know, you're kind of just not doing much with the MACD, but I only added the MACD because I was getting bored with the market conditions. But I mean, that looks pretty solid, pretty solid. There's, you know, high potential for this thing. High potential for this thing. You know, for levels in between, because obviously, I mean, from here to here is 69x, right? That is. So there would be some, right? This would be insane. I mean, this would be insane. But, you know, deep dive, I might look into this on a deep dive, get some levels in between here. All right, get some levels in here to hit. So you're not, you know, so me personally, if I'm investing in this, I'm not, oh, I'm waiting for 5 cents. I'm waiting for 5 cents. You know, that's just, I don't know. That's not something that, it could happen. You never know. It could happen. So, but yeah, I can look into that for sure. I can look into the deep dive and then check that out for sure. But overall, that's what I got for a lot of the assets. This is this one looks very interesting. Like I said, the DEGEN, I talked about DEGEN, talked about a lot of the other assets. I'll be doing a deep dive on tomorrow. Tomorrow and Thursday, I'll be doing a deep dive. I'll do a macro, you know, just talking about the macros on Wednesday. So if you're interested in the Discord, it'll be linked in the description. I also offer that paid Patreon membership where I can do, you know, chart updates, things like that. Matter of fact, I can bring this over real quick and kind of show everybody what's going on with that, so you guys kind of understand the different things. So going through, and you know, these are, you know, you have some alerts that are going on through here. Bullish, bearish alerts, project requests for deep dives, and then premium chart requests. So these all come in through here. So all these assets, you know, routinely updated on key levels, things of that nature. So that's through the Patreon membership. We also do the live updates, everything like that, community chart shares. So bearish, bullish, we're always talking. Everyone's welcome. You know, just wanted to give a shout out to all that. Thank you everyone for stopping by. I appreciate it. If you have questions or concerns, let me know. You know, shoot me a message. As always, thank you for stopping by. Take it easy. Peace.